Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we have Michelle come in and be with mom for 8 hours. And so David and I can leave the house those 3 days a week to go do things just to get away, or else it would be a 24/7, 365. And we need to have that break as well. And to give mom that quality care that we can give her as family that loves her, wants to keep her here in her home. No nursing home for her. So normally mom doesn't remember details about such as when Michelle's coming. But she woke up yesterday, Thursday, knowing that Michelle was coming. She calls Michelle her sitter. So now she's obsessed about getting Michelle in the house. Well, what I'm talking about right now is safety of mom. And now she's obsessing over the doors. When you come into the house, everybody uses the garage. The garage is in the front of the house because when you walk, and it's attached. So when you come in and you walk directly into a hallway, right into the living room. A very short little square of a hallway. Not really. Anyway, so there is before you open the door to get into the garage from this little tiny hallway, there is a switch on the wall, and it will open the garage door. David has a little safety lock on it, little cover panel, so that she can't flip it. Okay. The living room door that nobody uses, the only people who ever knock on that door or ring the doorbell if they're selling something. Well, he's put a lock at the very top. It would be like right there if you were to look at it. And it's covered with a white duct tape. So it blends in. Michelle didn't know it was there. Michelle's been with mom for almost a year. She didn't know it was there till a couple weeks ago. She tried to open the door. Got the shocker for life because the alarm went off. So, but mom's obsessing, focused, highly focused, irritated, getting more and more angry. And my mother-in-law is a sweetheart. We get along great. And you guys know when I talk about her, it's all with respect because I love her. But she was really in a negative spiral downward. Oh, it was not even 9:30 yet. And she had worked herself into I'm a pissed off at the world kind of attitude. And she wouldn't let up about the door. Finally, I'm like, all right. I was going to explain it to her later. I told Michelle, I said, if she's like this when we get back, I'll talk to her. She just wouldn't let up. The looping was seconds. Normally I have minutes with this looping conversation going back to the same topic over and over again, which can last for hours. But she was not going to let up on it. And that's that stubbornness in her. So I sat down before I left. I said, okay, let me talk to you about this. And I always make sure that we help her understand, or I help her understand, why we do things that she doesn't like, that she doesn't understand, is for safety reasons. It's because of her memory. And she acknowledges she has a bad memory. Well, yeah. Yes, I do have a bad memory. I said, well, this is why we're doing this, because safety reasons. We don't want you to go outside and get turned around and, get lost. Because I told her the door is permanently locked. Semi-permanent. And that made her angry. I know where I'm at. Mom, your memory has gotten a lot worse. And there are times where I have to show you where your bedroom is in your own house. And I also have to show you where some dishes are that you're looking for. Silverware. She likes to help set the table for dinner. For whatever reason, my mother-in-law from a child's age was taught to not cry. And so she doesn't cry. I could see it in her eyes, in her face, that she wanted to, and she was really holding back. She was holding it in. It's in her deep to not do this. That was really heartbreaking. I said, we keep you here inside for safety. We don't want you to get lost. And I do have to give you a little side note. She does have access out. We have part of the backyard fenced in just so the dog has a place to go as well that's safe. So if something happens in the house, she can get out safely. Okay. But having to tell her and seeing that look on her face was very heartbreaking. So it's not easy. It's not easy when you have to tell them something they don't understand. I understand it, but they don't. It's really hard to explain. Dementia takes away their memory, but it doesn't take away their feelings. And I hurt her feelings yesterday morning by telling her. It hurt. And I could see it. And all I could do was tell her that I was sorry. And she says, well, what about people who went to visit, like my neighbors? I said, well, for one thing, nobody visits. Neighbors don't visit. She's 94 years old and all of her friends are pretty much passed on. I said, well, they know to come through the garage. And I said, the only people that knock on that front door here are people selling something we don't want. And she eventually, well, yeah, I guess we don't have anybody that comes to the door that we don't need. That's all, nobody comes to the door we don't need. Yeah, only salespeople. It was very heartbreaking. I cried later because I felt like I hurt her feelings. But I do love my mother-in-law, and I try to protect her. So, thanks.